We got a busy show here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Welcome in. Jaquan Brisker injury news. We'll get into that in a second and how it impacts Sunday's game against the Jags. Plus, the first head coach firing of the year. Robert Saleh, 5 games in. We'll talk about that, a couple of theories, and kind of make it Bears related as well. But before we get to all of that, speaking of the Robert Saleh firing, I did a full breakdown of that on my other YouTube channel. It's called For Verts. If you want more NFL and college football content, go check it out. I'll put the link in the comments and description of this video. It'll be replied to the pinned comment as well. You can look at it there. YouTube.com/@4verts is where you can find it. If you enjoy me and my commentary and want it more for the NFL and college football world as a whole, then go ahead and show us some support by subscribing over there. All right, Jaquan Brisker, self-reported concussion-like symptoms on Monday. He is in the concussion protocol. Did not travel to London. Now, there is a chance that he could clear protocol and travel between now and Sunday, but given the bye week next week and given that the concussion protocols, there's 5 steps you have to clear, it's pretty unlikely and unusual for a player to get concussed on a Sunday and play the next Sunday these days. It just doesn't happen very often. I'd be pretty surprised if he played. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I would not expect Jaquan Brisker to travel. And just the fact that it's London, too, that adds a whole nother wrinkle. He's going to clear, Friday, Saturday, fly to London and play Sunday? I don't think that's a very likely scenario whatsoever. So, and quite frankly, you could argue even if he does clear that maybe you just hold him out, right? He's had a couple of concussions in his career. You got the bye week next week. Just rest up and get ready to go for Washington in week 8. Obviously, you want Brisker out there. I'm just saying, given the London circumstances, maybe this is just kind of an opportunity to just take a step back here. But no doubt about it, this is a notable loss, if he can't play in this game on Sunday. I think Brisker's had his best year up to this point. He's a tone setter with how hard he hits, and he's kind of just littering up the stat sheet. Coverage, plays in the box, has a sack on the year, has a forced fumble as well, which we saw on Sunday, and I think that was the hit he probably eventually got those concussion-like symptoms from. He's playing great. He's playing really well right now. I think the tandem between him and Kevin Byard has been one of the better ones in the NFL through 5 weeks. So this will be an absence that is felt on Sunday, but you got to think big picture too. So gut feeling tells me he doesn't play this week. We'll, of course, keep you guys updated, and we'll see what Matt Eberflus says tomorrow when he speaks to the media for the first time this week. But, or for the first time from London, I should say. But, yeah, I would give it a less than 10% chance he plays in this ball game. Now, show Jaquan Brisker some love. Get the 9s down in the comment section below. I'm a big Brisker fan. He's a leader on this team, and he's playing pretty well. Now, if he can't go, obviously someone else is going to have to start next to Kevin Byard. That would be either Jonathan Owens or Elijah Hicks. Your 2 other safety options, I would guess maybe Tarvarius Moore on the practice squad is going to travel as well and be an option as a game day elevation this Sunday. So we'll keep an eye on that. But to me, between these 2 players, obviously Hicks has played more for the Bears. This is his 3rd year here. Got some starts last year when Eddie Jackson was out. But Jonathan Owens was a multi-year starter. Started for a season in Houston, started for most of his time in Green Bay as well. I would start Jonathan Owens. He's a vet. I think he's got better ball skills. I think in this spot, I would trust him more to hold down the fort. Now, clearly it's going to be less reliability and production based on whoever does play in Jaquan Brisker's absence, but I would lean on Jonathan Owens here. You brought him in here for a reason. He's got starting experience, and that is the direction I would go. But could be Elijah Hicks. Could depend on who they think fits the run-stopping mold better, because Brisker's more of that in that strong safety role. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll see if Flus kind of gives us any indication on that throughout the week. Brisker wasn't the only player to not travel to London. Zacch Pickens with a groin, Terell Smith with the hip. They've missed the last couple of weeks. I don't think there's a scenario where they would travel later in the week and play, so they are just going to be out again. My producer today, Coop, made the point of, man, that sucks. You think you have a trip to London, and yeah, have fun in the Windy City while we're all over here. But Yeah, I mean they're not healthy, so they got to rehab here, and hopefully they're ready to go once the bye week comes and goes, which of course is next week. So that's the latest on the injury front. Obviously, a huge game coming up against the Jags in Week 6. We will have a preview on that probably tomorrow, so stay tuned. But coming up next, I'm just intrigued by this Robert Saleh firing. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is there. How much influence did he have on this decision? We'll dive into all that and kind of tie it back to the Bears as well. But first, I do want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. What do they specialize in? Last-minute tickets for the lowest prices guaranteed. Listen, it's time to get off the couch. Go attend a sporting event. Go watch your favorite football teams. Basketball is back. Hockey, playoff baseball, depending on where you live, and a whole lot more. Concerts, comedy shows, whatever it is, if you need a ticket, Game Time is the place to go. Their new feature, Game Time Picks, makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play much easier. It'll filter out the fluff to show you the best deals and the best seats so you don't have to scroll through thousands of tickets on the Game Time app. It kind of shows you different areas of the stadium. Like, okay, that's my price range. I like that quality of seat. Let's see what's available there. It just makes it easier for you guys. Whether you're getting tickets to a sporting event, concert, comedy show, or anything else, Game Time has you covered with views from the seats, which is very important. You want to see the quality of seat you have there. Super deals, which are the best bang for your buck, or last-minute tickets for the lowest price guaranteed. Download Game Time today. Use code CHATSPORTS, all one word, CHATSPORTS. Get you $20 off your first purchase only. Terms apply. Download Game Time. What time is it? It's game time. All right, let's get to Robert Saleh. Again, I broke this down on 4 verts. Go check it out. Link to subscribe in the comments. But we'll touch on it a little bit here as well. 5 games in, Woody Johnson, adios. We'll see ya. They pull the plug on Robert Saleh. And got to tell you, some of the details that have come out or at least been reported, who knows how accurate it is. It's always a he said, she said. Jordan Schultz said that. He talked to Saleh, and Saleh said he was showing up to work like it was a normal day. Woody Johnson called him in, let him know he was firing. Security escorted him straight out of the building. Didn't even get to say goodbye to the players. So that's pretty brutal. This is just fascinating. This does not happen often, 5 games into a season. And I got to think Rodgers at least had some influence here. Now, I'm not going to go full Rodgers stormed Woody Johnson's office and demanded Saleh got fired. Like, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I think Woody Johnson went all in on this year. He's got an old quarterback. He's got a roster that they've put a lot of money into. Joe Douglas is a little bit on the hot seat as well. He's not trying to waste this year because Rodgers is year to year at this point. They feel like they can win right now. So I'm sure there was a few people that he talked to, and I got to think Rodgers was in that circle of, hey, this is what we're thinking. Are you willing to sign off on this? And I would guess Aaron Rodgers said yes. Now, I'm not in that building. I don't know exactly what went down, but just a theory, knowing the drama that Aaron Rodgers brings, he had to have at least some level of knowledge that this was coming before the rest of us knew. Now, all of that being said, Robert Saleh just wasn't good. I mean, we have to acknowledge that. Like, he did not have a very good run with the New York Jets. 2 7-10 seasons was his peak. Who knows how it would have played out this year, but 2-3, they're only a game back. They play the Bills on Monday night. I think they're looking at this like, well, we don't think Saleh's good enough, but the season's not lost. Let's take a swing here and see if it works out. But there's always drama with Rodgers, whether he was involved in this or not. Like, it doesn't matter what he does, doesn't do. Everywhere he goes, there's drama. I mean, there just always is. Even when Green Bay was having awesome years, there was always something going on. So, all-time talent, all-time great player, but just a guy that brings drama. Like that's really the only way I could put it here. And just a couple of thoughts to kind of swing this back to the Bears here. One, this is the first head coach firing, right? We've talked about Matt Eberflus as someone who could be on the hot seat. I think he's calmed those waters the last couple of weeks. But, if the Jets are willing to do it week 5, who's next? I don't think Flus is next, but I think some other teams might look at that and say, oh, they're not messing around. Why should we? 2, I'll say this. If Matt Eberflus lost his job after this year, I'd take Saleh as a DC in a heartbeat. Now, He runs more of a 3-4 multiple scheme, so it would be a scheme shift. But I think he's pretty proven as a defensive coordinator that he can coach at a high level. So he would be an intriguing name if, like, say you hired a young offensive-minded head coach like Ben Johnson, for example. Like, hey, let's bring in Robert Saleh, head coaching experience. He can run the defense. So that's an intriguing angle. Obviously, we hope none of that happens. We hope it flourishes with Flus and it takes off. But let's be honest, it's still a relative unknown with Matt Eberflus as the head coach. Speaking of which, what is your confidence level in Flus as the Bears head coach right now? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you have no confidence, 10 being you're supremely confident. I don't know, 4 or 5. We know the defense is good. We know players respect him. Can he win, and can he win big? That remains to be seen. That's what we're hopefully going to find out the rest of this season. All right, some videos you guys can expect in the coming days, and potentially one this afternoon, so stay tuned and subscribe. Bears-Jags preview, take a look at the London matchup. Updated injury reports. We should have more info tomorrow on that first injury report of the week for both teams. And then Bill Murray's emergence. What a story this guy has been from college defensive tackle, switching positions a couple of years ago with the Patriots, and now potentially a starting guard for the Chicago Bears. We'll dive into that and more throughout the week, so be sure to subscribe to us here at Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and bear down as always.